to Carpentry and me. This is Thursday Tips at Home, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how I install a window. So I've already packed them out. I packed them out yesterday. But it was too windy to film. So you'll see me putting the packers on. But here's a wee description of what I was doing. So in the footage, I'll put some brief footage of me installing these. I used a laser along this line here, and as you can tell, it's two different windows. The reason I did that was because I want the windows to be the same height this way, and then I used a level up the sides because that was easier to use during the sunshine. Now I know that I can just put these windows hard down and they're going to be at the same level, so I'll put them hard down and then hard to this side because that's level and that's plumb, and then from there I'll screw them. I've got 12mm packers, and that's where my window's going to come out, so I'll just tap them on in the corners and put my window on, slide in, screw, 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 screw. Tops don't get packed, and then on the side I'll just pack where I'm going to screw so that it doesn't create a bow. So now I've got my corners up, I'll tell you how I'm going to get my screws to pull in. If you're trying to pull in timber tight and the thread is locked in on both bits of timber, what means is they're probably going to want to move like that. So it's not actually going to pull in, and this is just going to keep driving in and not actually closing up that gap. So how do we get around that if we don't have the right screws? So most screws have a part that's got no thread on it so that it'll pull in the timber tight to whatever it's screwing to. In this instance, my plates are a little thick, so I'm not going to risk it, so I'm going to do a wee tip, which is drilling a clearance hole. If you wonder what a clearance hole is, it's not the same as a pilot hole. A clearance hole is when you use a drill bit that is slightly wider than your thread but less than the head of the screw, so that the thread is not catching on any of the timber that you're trying to pull in down, and instead it just winds it down and then the head pulls the timber down. So that's what I'm going to use today. I'm using these bits that were part of the test pack by Bosch. I'll also use the Bosch drill, and yeah, that's how I've always done it. But now I know Eco do a special screw. They're for weatherboards, but people use them for doors, and we use them for all our doors, and it was bloody handy. But these are also a multi-purpose bit, even though they look like your sort of standard masonry bits. So I'm going to do one of the smaller frames first. So I'm using these galv screws. I'm going to try these because I've had some left over. I'm not sure if I'm going to strip the inside. Most likely I will, because I like that timber look. So that's really the tips, is packing the bottom and one side. It doesn't matter what side you do of a window. Just pack the bottom level, the side plumb, and you shouldn't have any issues if your windows were made properly. I've made these, I know they're pretty good, so shouldn't have any issues. The other tip is for clearance holes, which we just talked about. Just playing with this mag clip. This mag clip is actually, it's awesome. Bit expensive, but I'm definitely using it more than what I thought I would, so that's good. So that's Thursday tips. I hope you've got something from that. And yeah, always remember, if there's multiple windows or multiple doors, use a laser, or just make sure they're all in a nice level line. Now, hit the music for me putting in this window. going? Just interrupting the nice time lapse there. So when you're packing the side that you haven't like pre-packed, so when you're in the middle of an install, what I do is I leave the screw proud like that because it can push it in, because I'm just straightening this side here, and that's actually bloody good. So as you can see, no packing in there at the moment. So once I know what my packing is, I'll slide in the packers and then drive the screw home, and then it's raining, so that's enough for today. And it's all for Thursday tips. Thanks for watching Thursday tips.